This week on Did Y'all See, we're talking about the natural hair tax, whether or not it's okay for your man to travel alone to Brazil with another woman, and Amber and Kim getting all buddy-buddy in the club. Get into all this tea on Did Y'all See. Welcome to another episode of Did Y'all See? As you can tell, we're in a new spot. We listened to you guys' feedback and you didn't like it. We weren't really feeling it necessarily either. Didn't really work for us. So we're in a new space. So let us know how you feel about this one.
But as always, watch your mouth.
So are y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. So Jasmine wrote about this and she called it the natural hair tax. Basically, when people see you coming and they see that your curls are popping and they're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to charge her extra money because I know it's going to take me longer to do her hair than someone whose hair is straight or fine or whatever. And so she was asking the question about whether or not the practice is discriminatory.
Well, when I saw Jasmine tweet about it, I tweeted back to her because I had literally a Dominican salon across the street from my house. And I went by and I saw they had a sign right on the outside that was like natural hair starts at $25. And you know, their base is like $15 or something. On Tuesday, $10 maybe. So, you know, it's like to even start with that, I really felt away. Like I haven't gotten my hair straightened by them in a while. But I'm like, I remembered even when I had a perm. I mean, if I came in and it had been a minute, it's like, okay, mommy, perm. It's like, no, I didn't come in here for a touch-up. You know, they're always ready. I'm like, the Dominican women that come in, that's their natural hair. So are you charging them more? Like, it's not about natural. You're really trying to say coarse hair.
Right.
You want to charge
Black.
more. And yeah, and I'm not feeling that. It's particularly, I mean, a lot of Latino women go there also, but I mean, it's black women that are flooding that business. So it's like, I don't agree with them doing that.
Right.
But I feel like even with black hairstylists, like I was at my Jamaican hairdresser, you know, getting a wash and set, and this girl came in and she had like a cute, you know, like TWA, and it became this big, oh, I don't know if I could walk this. And it's just like, are you serious?
Right.
It's
like the same thing on your head.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I was just like, you're lying, because when you're dealing with small children who have natural hair, and even when I was growing up, like my mother never had to pay more. They were using like really good products too. So I was just like, I think now because it's such a booming business, that's why people are like, oh, let's add some.
Take advantage.
Yeah. But it's like, you do this for your little daughter, your little cousin, stop playing.
But I think it's also different, like, you know, working with a child's hair and then working with like a grown woman's hair, and depending on like the thickness of it and all that. So they try to act like it's so hard. Because even like when you go get your hair braided, it doesn't even mean that they're gonna make you pay more, but they complain about it as well. Every time like you go have African women braid your hair, she's talking about cultures, Dominicans, Africans. It's like for them too, it's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like they tell you your hair's really thick, and then, you know, some people would say that's a good thing. And
Yeah.
For braiding.
it's like, this is nappy. That's what I really want to say, but I'm gonna just try to be nice and say
How their back
really
is hurting.
thick. Right. I need help on this. I need help.
Be 3 people in your head.
Somebody eating chips, braiding your hair.
Yes.
Like, get off the phone.
Yeah, exactly. You been here for 8 hours?
Right. So it's a struggle, but I mean, at the same time, though, I think that it's discriminatory, obviously, to make somebody pay more to straighten their hair. But the reality is, I'm like, if this is what you do and you're good at it, why should I have to pay more for you to be able to do it well?
Right.
Like, I don't get that.
Black people really, because Dominicans are black, Jamaicans are black, Africans are black. So I don't understand why it's black people giving all these negative messages about hair.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's really discouraging when you go into some place and people's looking at your hair like, oh,
Always.
look, just work with it. You know what black hair is and what it does.
Exactly.
Do your job. That's why I'm here.
And take pride in it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I always say, I always say to people, I'm like, you know, hairstylists, I'm like, if you can do black hair, you can do anything.
Any
Okay.
hair.
Like, and you should take pride in that, because
That's
let me
the
not
thing,
go
they're
into
hairstylists,
it, right?
though. But I mean, I was just because if you want more than that same general flip under, like I would want to look at the same every time. Like they're not really hairstylists. I'll say. So I think even that, because no matter how you come in looking, they're pulling out that rat tail. I'm like, I need a wide tooth in here before I'm bald. So I just feel like that's part of it. But I think it's more like now you're just noticing that so many people are natural. You feel like you're doing more work combing. If you had a wide tooth, we could smash this.
Exactly. With some leave-in.
Right.
Right, conditioner.
Do it right.
Exactly.
Do the research. Do the research. So, did y'all see? This is Lauren's piece. So, Lauren, do you want to explain?
Yeah, so a young woman was dating a great guy for 7 months, and he said he was going to Brazil on their second date, which is fine. But when he went to mention it again after they've been dating for some time, he told her that Keisha was helping him plan the trip, and Keisha is going too. But who the hell is Keisha? So, because of that, now she's like a little bit weary of whether she should stay with him because he's not making an effort for them to like, talk on the phone since Keisha don't live in the same city either. But that's his bestie from college. So.
Right. So the question was like, how would you feel about your man taking a trip with some woman that you don't know? Together. And after 7 months.
If you ain't heard of Keisha, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I could get if I didn't meet her because she lives somewhere else. But if that's your best friend, I should hear Keisha's name once a week. I should have seen some text, something. No, I know a little bit of something. So it's weird.
So what if he was like adamant about going on this trip? You expressed your discomfort, and he was like, "No, I'm going anyway." What would you?
I have to question, like, is it a trust issue? Because I don't really think it's like a disrespect kind of thing. I do feel like it's a trust issue. So then it's like, is it my trust issue? Or should he be trying to make me feel more comfortable with this? I don't know. Because I do think you can have those opposite sex things. A whole trip is a little odd.
And it's just them two.
Yeah,
no other friends.
What you gonna be doing? Like, is this a pilgrimage or something? Because otherwise, what's happening? That's what I'm saying. What's happening all this time?
Right. How long is the trip?
Extended an invitation for me to come.
It's a week.
7 days.
Yeah, because by 7 months, you could have asked me to come along at this point or something. So if those things are happening, I am kind of. And if you get too defensive about it when I bring it up, then I'm like, okay, well.
Listen, after 7 months, I'm like, I could take a 7-month loss.
Yeah.
You okay?
I agree with Veronica. Like, I just think that if it's your best friend, I would have had to heard about her. And if I didn't hear about her, then it's like, so you saying something without saying it. So, and 7 months is nothing. So we could just peace out and keep it moving. Because it's like, my thing is like, I'm not about people who dance around the issue if they want to like break out. If you're trying to break out, be free, my child.
Right.
It's gonna be okay.
I think it would depend on what the trip was. Like if we were talking about like something like y'all were just doing like a road trip to some like whatever, or it was a camping thing, something small where I could easily somehow insert myself into this situation, as well as some other people Keisha knows, then I think I would be a little bit more down for that. I think I would feel okay if he was making, like you said, if he was making an effort to try and at least facilitate a relationship of some sort between Keisha and I, so that I would feel comfortable. And I feel like the situation was fishy, then I would probably be like, well then you know what? I feel like you're gonna do some shady shit anyway. So why don't you go do your thing? And when you have your motherfucking life together, then you can try again. But I can't promise you that I'm gonna have time for you then.
Right.
If you're in a relationship and you truly care about somebody, you're not going to want them to feel uncomfortable with your decisions. That's the whole point of being in a relationship. You're taking the other person's feelings into account. Yeah. And if you just be like, well, it just is what it is, which I hate.
Girl, that's
when people say it is what it is.
Exactly.
That just like, I feel like fire.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be what it is. You know? Like, I cannot stand that phrase. So yeah, like, just try to make me feel comfortable. And I just want to talk to her. But if you hesitating, like trying to put her in the shadows, then that makes me think something is shady. Keisha might not even know you exist.
Real talk.
They've been planning this romantic getaway for years.
Seriously?
No. Right. I need to know. I just want to talk to her.
Like,
Just
right,
see
if Keisha had a man, then he would probably feel some kind of way too.
Exactly. And that's the thing.
Like,
a lot
we
of
having a Google Hangout at 8 p.m.
Exactly.
Okay.
So did he even ask her?
Skyping.
Did he even ask
FaceTime,
her, like, do you got the money to come through?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Because I might have it.
Because all I need is a flight. You already got a room. So.
And that's the thing. A lot of the males under the article were like, a lot of the males under the article were commenting, oh, I've been having my best friend since college for 20 years and I've been married. And it's like, but you've never been on a trip with this person.
Okay, exactly. Tell the full story. Tell the full story. Tell the full story.
And that's the thing I hate about certain men, like, try to play on these, like, stupid insecurities. Like, well, that's what I want to do. And if you don't want to do it, you're insecure. It's like, you're whack ass.
You're trying it.
1999 excuse.
You're trying it, right. Because when you go in another country, you already feeling like, I'm going to do some things I ain't done. You know, I don't. Why don't put on right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I never did have sex with my best friend.
Right.
Don't do it.
when in Brazil.
Okay, I'm like FaceTime me every night. While you sleep.
I want to hear you breathe.
Okay, I'll wake you up in the morning. Hey, boo.
And that's the thing, like a lot of women try to pretend like, because they don't want to be called insecure, so they try to pretend like they're comfortable with things they really aren't comfortable with.
Right.
Meanwhile, you sitting at the house pulling your hair out, and he come back relaxed and refreshed.
Right.
So did y'all see that Amber and Kim are apparently civil? I don't know if we want to call it a friendship or what, but they took a picture together, and then both of them posted it on their Instagram accounts. Amber said something about swingers with the Kermit and the tea, and Kim was like, do you want this tea or whatever? So
I was disgusted. I love me some Bubba.
yes.
But just like, why? Just go sit down somewhere. I'm just tired of just the attention seeking. Like, sit down. If you there, you cool, whatever. Y'all can talk then, but you gotta take this picture, you gotta throw it out there. Like, you just want attention all the time. We already know, that they're both like that. I don't know. And it was just more disgusting. Everybody else who talked about it after, like, that it's gonna get that kind of reaction. It's just one of those things which I hate. The readers would be like if people didn't talk about it, we wouldn't care. And it's like, I wish people would just ignore them sometimes.
Initially, when I saw it, I thought it was a publicity stunt because of Kanye's Swish Waves, whatever album. That's
And Wiz Khalifa's.
Comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
The plot thickens.
Right.
Convenient.
So that's what I thought initially. But then at the same time, I know that they've had beef for years. So, like my Super Soul Sunday part of me was like, oh, that's so nice. Reconciliation, restoration.
That's what happens.
So that's what I thought. That's what I, when you're just like, girl power.
Sisterhood.
Hashtag sisterhood, So
I never thought the sisterhood of the traveling pants. I never thought that. Because in my mind, I'm like, these aren't people who used to be friends. Like, these are people who fell out because you used to mess with the same guy at some point.
An overlap.
At the same time, right. And so so my thing is, look, I agree. I believe unity is nice between women, black folks, everybody. But I think there's a difference between having and making peace with people and being civil, and then this bootleg need to try to be like, we so buddy now. Like, don't be fake about it. Be as nice and kind to people as you can. That's a good thing. If you can mend fences with people, or you can, just throw away beef, great. You should do that. But I don't need to see the remnants of it because you're not doing it for me.
Right.
You should be doing it for the sake of that it's the right thing to do. You talked about somebody's child. Let's make peace about it.
Yeah. I love Amber Rose. And I just, in my mind, I was like, okay, cool. She's going to be like the antithesis to the Kardashian, whatever. So to see that, like, really hurt my feelings. I was just like, I literally looked at it and was like, threw my phone down. I was like, this is just so, ugh. Because I cannot stand what the Kardashians represent, like talentlessness just rising to the top, which frustrates me and anyone who works hard. So anyway, I just really wasn't about it. And I wasn't about it because I feel like the Kardashians, they don't want to be on the losing side, right? So Amber clearly won this Twitter beef with Kanye and Wiz and all this. She clearly won. But the Kardashian MO is not to be on the losing side. So now let me take this picture together, and now we're back on the winning side. Kim had nothing to do with the reason that you were going back and forth on Twitter. It was Kanye. So it should have been, they were like, oh, Kanye called Wiz and Kim spoke to Amber. Like, no, Kanye should have called Wiz and Amber and apologized. Kim has nothing to do with it. If your husband or your boyfriend or whoever wrongs me, I don't hear an apology from you. Right. I want to hear an apology from your man.
Right, exactly.
I'm sorry, people act like men and women can't talk when there's drama. No, if men and women cause a drama, they need to figure it out together. Yeah. Stop. Yeah. I'm like, that don't mean y'all getting back together, but you know how to send a text.
Exactly.
So I'm not here for none of it. But that just goes. But to your point, it just shows you can't put faith in people you don't know, faith in people who are clearly on the climb.
Right.
Because you never know what that climb might look like and what they'll be, what they feel like they need to do to get on. I don't know, man. I'm just like, I don't know why you have to go about it through this route. Right. All right, guys. So we have this new segment. It's called Cold Tea. Basically, this is the stuff that's been sitting on the counter for too long. It's a little less than lukewarm. So we have a minute to get into the topics that we didn't get to go into depth with. So the first one up is whether or not giving your child your last name as a woman emasculates your male partner. This is based on Tyra Banks and her new boyfriend. And she gave the baby her middle name.
I don't think, well, if y'all were married, it would be one thing. But I think if you guys are just dating, this is just a boyfriend. I don't think they've even been together that long. I know I want to have this baby for the rest of my life, and it's going to be part of my life. And if you're just my boyfriend, you might be gone if you change your mind about something. So, baby has my name.
Agreed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think, even though I'm a female, like it's my father's name, so it's still a male name being carried on either way.
Because men love to act like your name ain't shit.
Okay.
I know.
So
It came from my daddy.
Exactly. It's still a male name, so patriarchy still wins.
What, patriarchy still wins.
Yeah.
Wow. And my thing is, I'm sure you would have had a discussion beforehand. If that emasculates you, then we didn't have a good enough discussion. Like,
Yeah.
if it's on the birth certificate, you must have been okay with it. And for the second topic, a little heavy, 1 minute, whether or not Beyonce was guilty of cultural appropriation in the new Coldplay video.
I don't necessarily think she was appropriating the culture, but I do think if Indian people in that culture have an issue with her dressing like that, then we have to hear their concerns the same way we want ours to be heard.
I don't know. Like I think my thing is, I feel like a lot of South Asians have a disdain for black people representing anything of their culture when it really came from East Africa. So that's just my whole thing. That's just my actual thing. You know.
When you're in India, I feel like if she was at home trying to pretend like she was an Indian woman just to be for shits and giggles, I think like, okay, yeah, get mad about that. But I'm in India trying to celebrate the culture with you. We have Indian people in the video. I don't really know what you want.
Right.
I get it. Hear the concerns, but they don't make sense to me. So.
Yeah, I agree to hear the concerns. I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, I wonder if people are going to say this is cultural appropriation. And sure enough, it came down the pipeline. So I don't know. I can't relate. All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Did Y'all See? For more videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MadameNoire.